Hey, what's going on, my friends? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you 5 things I think you should know about this ridiculously powerful upcoming lunar eclipse and super full moon happening on January 21st of 2019. It's actually, what is it? It's a super blood wolf moon and full lunar eclipse. It's going down, man. It's powerful. It's as big gets. The main theme is gaining, achieving, manifesting, getting more than you are asking for. A lot of times we intend for what we think is realistic. Your soul operates at a whole new level. It can see your life from the mountaintop, and it knows your true potential. So a lot of times your manifestations are sort of added to by your higher self, by your soul self. But the manifestation process works in many times extremely confusing, non-linear, and mysterious ways that our life can temporarily seem completely out of whack, and yet every little hiccup is actually a piece of the puzzle falling into place perfectly, a perfect fit at the perfect time, okay? It reminds me of this story I heard a long time ago from this channeler named Bashar. Bashar knew this individual who was really passionate about car stereos. And he really wanted this particular model. I don't know the name of the model, but that's what he really wanted. He couldn't afford it. He couldn't really swing together the cash, so he eventually sort of compromised and settled and bought a model that was a bit lower than that. He said, okay, whatever, semi-content with his decision. Well, guess what happened the next morning? The next morning he woke up and went out to his car, and someone had broken into his car and stolen that stereo. And in that moment, he thought to himself, this is complete utter nonsense. Bashar's teaching, the manifestation, to heck with all this. I'm worse off than, I was never even happy to begin with all that much, and now I'm worse off than ever before. Man. So eventually he kind of went through life, and guess what he did? He made an insurance claim. And for whatever reason, the insurance gave him more money than the stereo was worth. As you can probably guess, he was given to the dollar exactly the right amount of money to buy the stereo he really wanted but didn't think he could get. You might think you want out of your stressful situation, but you might not be dreaming big and shooting for the stars like you can reach. This full moon, this eclipse is going to show you where you can be. It's going to give you more than you're allowing yourself to ask for. As I always do, my friends, I'm going to go ahead and break up this reading into 5 separate, more specific themes to give clarity and more information and a broader context of what this powerful alignment will mean for you and your own soul's journey. Number 1, I would suspect a lot of you, maybe all of you, are experiencing a little extra emotional sensitivity. That's okay. That's you becoming quickly more aware and more conscious, and just you have not yet adjusted to your new senses. Reminds me of my wife. She's doing something called a dieta. It's where you eat a very restricted diet and even live a very restricted lifestyle. Many people actually go into complete isolation for a month or so. And the idea is you do all this and then you ingest a certain plant. There's many plants you can do it with. And the idea is to connect with the spirit of the plant by making yourself really open and really sensitive. And that's cool. That's how the shamans do it. And it's beautiful. It's amazing. I've talked to many shamans and how they've been able to really communicate with like sage and all these sort of plants you probably have heard of and didn't know their spirit was so alive and vibrant and talkative. But with that sensitivity that you guys are kind of having anyway because of the awakening, because of the astrology, it can be, my wife's finding herself quick to temper, challenging to keep her cool around my very loud and rambunctious children, needing more time to herself, needing more time to be quiet in her mind. But it's just a symptom of the sensitivity she asked for a really beautiful benefit. And that's the same thing with this awakening. That's the same thing as we approach these powerful alignments. You're more sensitive, and you can look at that at face value and say, man, life is getting harder. I don't like this. Everything's so loud. Everything's so bright. Dark stuff seems extra dark. Moody people seem extra moody. And oh my goodness, I just want to hide in a cave. Well, maybe you should a little bit. But also understand that sensitivity to the bad is also the sensitivity to the good. The sensitivity, the awareness of yourself, of your truth, of who you are at the core, at the soul level. And from that perspective, you can much more accurately work through your life. You'll know which goals to actually put energy into, because you'll be able to discern the degree of resonance with your soul. So it's an amazing dawning of awareness and a broadening of your sense perceptions. Number 2, a tipping point, an opportunity to successfully let go. That sensitivity is also going to work in your favor in the following ways. It's going to allow you to easily notice and perceive when something you're doing is out of habit, out of programming, out of conditioning, out of something you picked up in this life or even a past life maybe. That's not actually a representation of your soul's truth. And as these bad habits come to the surface for one last time, combined with your growing sensitivity to the fact that you don't want to be doing this, you'll hit a threshold, a tipping point where it just leaves. You just stop doing it. It might not be any particular magic or extreme exertion of willpower. You just find that it just no longer makes a lick of sense to maintain it. But if you find yourself struggling more normally with a certain habit or just some kind of programming you have that you're watching yourself carry out constantly to your own detriment, good. That's the thing that you're going to be letting go of successfully. Okay? So don't let the process thwart you. Don't let it get you down. See it as an opportunity to let go. Number 3, I just wrote down one word: detox. This could mean different things for different people. You might be finding yourself naturally inclined to go on a detox, to buy a detox book, or to go do a 3-day juice fast. For me, what I've been doing Bikram yoga. That's sort of a great way of detoxing my body and also my mind. I'm eating very clean now because I'm preparing for a plant medicine ceremony this weekend, and it's sort of my own way of detoxing myself. Now, there are of course many practical benefits to cleaning out your physical system. But a lot of times you'll find that you just so happen to naturally feel inspired to do that in conjunction with these powerful energetic upgrades, because it's a way of you living your life that's conducive to this ascent and vibration. It makes the process smoother. It makes you just more clear. And if you find yourself, again, sort of just naturally excited about some type of detox. Maybe it's an emotional detox. Maybe it's a meditation retreat you want to go to. You want to spend more time in nature. Maybe it's the decision to start meditating more. It could be anything that will sort of purify both body, mind, and spirit and consciousness. So if you feel that, go with it. It's going to help you. It's going to serve you. And it'll probably come around again at a future big alignment just like this. Number 4, I wrote down balancing life, making it better. A lot of times when you go through a lot of these things that are coming up, like the detoxification of your system and just like that sensitivity that many people don't like, it's basically, in one way of looking at it, you're able to finally see your life, see yourself with way, way, way more clarity. Now the difficulty is when sometimes through that clarity you see a lot of things that you didn't notice that are sticking out to you that really don't belong, and it can temporarily seem very overwhelming, but of course that's for your own good. But because of this, I want to mention you might find yourself sort of reanalyzing your life, your lifestyle, your priorities, and realizing that life goes fast. Like my kids, I feel like we just had my daughter, she's 9, she's already having, moods like a teenager at times and wanting to kind of hang out and talk to her friends online. It's like, oh my goodness, time goes by fast. And there really never is, and correct me if you guys have experienced this, I haven't talked to a person who's ever got into that place a lot of us are waiting for in our mind of like a life vacation. Like I'm gonna do all this so that when one day I can do what I really want. Then I can build what Jesse Itzler, this author of a book called Living with Monks, calls a life resume. A life resume is just you, the things that are really important to you as a personality, as a character, as a soul, that when you depart from this earth, you will look at those things. You will look at your family, at your relationships, your accomplishments, the things you've done for the good of the whole, the time spent quietly working with things that bring you joy and peace and excitement and having fun, and the laughs you've shared with friends. All of that kind of stuff, the real important stuff, you might find yourself really like thinking like, man, like seriously considering, how am I going to work all that stuff into my life right now? Because it's now suddenly seen from this higher vantage point as exceptionally important. Number 5 is a successful time. You ever notice how life and the transformation process can really seem to take you on what appear to be tangents? A lot of us sort of stormed into the new year with this bullet point list of things we want to do, things we want to accomplish, just where we want to go, goals basically. And then big alignments can sort of storm over, and all of a sudden we're so sensitive, we're reanalyzing our life, reanalyzing all those goals, and everything's sort of in flux, and it can really make it seem like I'm never gonna be able to be consistent with anything because I'm always all over the place, always learning and re-looking at everything in my life, and always dealing with these sort of symptoms of the next full moon or new moon or eclipse or equinox or whatever it is. But all of that seeming chaos is helping you not only have a successful time, that's kind of a weak way of putting it, but getting more than you initially asked for. A lot of times we want out of a challenging circumstance, not realizing that not only can we get out of that circumstance, but we can get into something awesome that also considers our life resume and our own well-being and our own passions and our own purpose and all these unforeseen things that are very, very relevant to our overall satisfaction and happiness that your higher self is very well aware of, and which is why it's influencing your life in the following ways. And you can have it all. You can have more than what you want when you just follow the quiet whispers of your intuition. And you can honestly look at what life is bringing to your attention. It's not always easy to look at first glance, but it's what you need to see to help you get more than you're asking for. Your life is just trying to quickly become awesome. And it does it in such a different way than we are used to pursuing things. So it can really take some getting used to. The whole divine timing thing, the whole following your intuition thing can seem like a fool's errand for a little while there, until you have alignments like this that show you, that say, here's what we've been working on this whole time. If you're going to sit back and allow us to work our magic, here you go. So I feel deep within my bones that it's going to be a very successful time for you. Abundance, freedom, greater joy, greater happiness, all. And how can I say that? Well, because there's a massive expansion of your consciousness going down right now. And it's going to give you, again, more access to your soul's eyes. And from there, you just make really wise decisions and you have access to that sort of divine magic and manifestation that is possible now. Okay? So anyways, my friends, I hope this update served you well. I hope you enjoyed the show. I tried to go to the mountains earlier to shoot this, and I got about halfway through and I started getting rained on. So I came in here because I wanted to get this message out to you guys. I hope you all have an amazing day. I want to say thank you for your love and your support and your kindness and your viewership and your work. You're out there doing what I'm doing. You're out there transforming yourself, which is raising your frequency, which is lighting a candle in this dark world we live in. And it's not easy to hold that candle. So thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. And I appreciate it. The world needs you, and it's an honor to be speaking to you. Okay? That's it, my friends. Let's see. In other news, if you guys don't know, I'm very active as of recently on Instagram. I don't know if you guys... For a while, I was kind of quiet there. So if you guys want to see more of Victor, I do 2 or 3 videos a week on YouTube, but I'm pretty much posting every day on Instagram. If you guys want to see, I do videos, I do posts, I do images, I do stories, kind of showing you an inside scoop of my life. Go ahead and click down below. I'll leave a link to my Instagram. And with that said, you guys have an amazing day, an amazing week. I'll be in touch soon for another video. Peace.